Okay, this is gonna be a video trying to work up a load for my 6.5 by 55. And Urso, need to get off my chair. Little cool cat. I've worked up some loads of Varget already and got plenty of notes on how that went. Not very well. I wasted a lot of powder trying to work up a load. I was starting out very low because I wasn't aware at the time of all the loads that you get in your reload manuals are all pretty anemic charges for like the old M96s and even earlier actions to be safe in those. So trying to load with Varget, a much faster powder, and using heavier, 140 grain, these are Hornady boat tail hollow point matches, you can run into pressure signs real easy if you're not careful. But the load in the Hornady manual starts at 32.5, goes up to 36. So that's what I did. I started at 32.5. I worked my way all the way up to 40 grains. So well above published max, and I wasn't seeing any pressure signs. And I was averaging around 2740, which is a little shy of what I want. I'd like to be around 2800 feet per second, but I was getting amazing standard deviation numbers. I mean, we're on this last string of shots that I did, I was doing some overall length testing, and I was getting 5-shot group standard deviation 2, 3, 9. And then I also shot the worst standard deviation out of everything with the bullet touching the lands at 24. So I mean, even the worst standard deviation I got with Varget is better than a lot of loads that I've loaded for other cartridges. It's not terrible, but it's not great. I was also getting very good groups. I shot a .35, ½ inch, 3/4 inch. So I do have a load I can work with Varget. But what I'd like to do is just kind of try out this, taking videos, have to document this stuff for myself, and have to put it out there for other people, because there's not a lot out there for the 6.5 by 55, especially in the modern action. And what I'm using is this here. Is my rifle. This, I may like it. This one's mine. Well, not really. There's a lot in this camo pattern anyway. Everybody's spray painting their rifles nowadays. But this is a Savage 110 action. It was a pretty early produced action. It's a 68, I think. It was originally 30-06. Put a 6.5 55 Swede barrel in it. I think it's an E.R. Shaw barrel. Just a Chakotay cheap stock with bottom metal to accept ACIS mags. SIG. I forgot if this is like a Tango 5. I spray paint it, so I don't know anymore. But it's a Tango 4 or Tango 5 SIG scope, pretty good setup. I've been really liking it so far. It's a shooter. But what I want to do is start working up some loads of H4350. I finally got my hands on some. Our local Scheels got in a batch and limited to 2 pounds per person. And so I got 2 pounds and emptied my bank account, and here we are. So I want to try and do this with as little of components as possible, because I'm used to, when I'm working up loads, doing some ladder testing, working with stuff that I've never done before, I would not care about component cost. I would just care about making sure that I'm not gonna hurt the gun or hurt myself. It would probably be more expensive to fix myself than the gun, so more worried about myself. But I want to creep up the pressure signs. With this, I'm not as concerned about it. After dealing, I feel like it was a good choice for me to go in with Varget, a faster powder, because now I know that with this case capacity and these bullets that I'm shooting, I'm not gonna hit pressure signs like real early, especially if the powders that people generally use, like H4350, the slower burning powders, you're a lot safer with. From what I've been reading, it's going to be hard to shove enough H4350 into these cases to hurt myself. Or the gun. So I just want to try and find a good load that I can use for some competition shooting, possibly hunting. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to take this out as a hunting rifle, but you never know. I just want a good all-around load that's shooting these 140 grainers around 2,800 feet per second. If I can get more and shoot good groups, have good standard deviation numbers, then that's great. But I just want a good all-around round. That's it. I just want something that I can take precision shooting. If a bunch of Ruskies start parachuting in, I want to be able to go up into the mountains of Iowa and be able to pick off a bunch of commies from up in the hills. So everybody needs a good rifle and load for that, and that's what I'm after with this H4350. It's pretty much extremely unattainium right now, and I was lucky to get some, because everybody and their brother right now is shooting 6.5 Creedmoors or the whatever other precision rifle cartridge that they're branding is. What they got, a 7 PRC, a 6 PRC, all the like. They're a fad that's going to die out, and that's why I'm just sticking with the 6.555. That 6.555 will always be around, and I'll never have to worry about finding brass. Well, I might have to worry about finding brass. Finding this new box of Lapua wasn't exactly easy, but you know, PPU, which is what the brass that I'm going to be dealing with in the next video when I do brass prep, is you'll always be able to find it. PPU is always going to be making ammo for this. It's one of the most popular hunting cartridges in the world. I mean, all those other precision rifle cartridges are just trying to be 6.555. and they'll never be 6.555. They'll never be able to be as good, and that's just my opinion. I think they're just a fad that's going to die out, just like all of the short action magnums of the early 2000s that nobody shoots anymore. You can't get brass for them anymore. They sucked. It was just a fad. Everybody's still shooting elk with 7 mags. You know, and stuff like that. You know, 300 Win Mag, 7 mag. It's still, those are the elk cartridges. All these short action magnums trying to get 7 mag performance out of something 308 sized. I mean, it was a good idea, but nobody cares. In the long run, nobody cares about that. Is 6.555 a long action? Technically, yes. That kind of sucks. It's one nice thing about the Creedmoor. You can get a medium action. But I'm not worried about the giant bolt throw. I'm shooting a Savage 110. It's a long action whether you're shooting a 22 Hornet or a 30-06. It doesn't matter. It's the same bolt. So I just don't care about that. And this has better performance and more inert accuracy to it. So that's what I'm running. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but the next video I'm going to do some brass prep. I mostly have this prepped up. I'm going to go through my process of brass prep, what I'm doing there, and maybe work up some initial loads and probably get to the range. So we'll see you on the next one.